him that he received a report about the Fenris territory from the Duke. He said that the Duke asked them to consider Ghislain as the strongest sword in the north when facing him. He told Count Cabaldi that our boy is an unpredictable individual. He advised him to make preparations for war. Count Cabaldi asked Harold about why he is telling him this. He told Count Desmond that he will be the one to go out to fight. Harold told him that it was an order from the Duke. Count Cabaldi began to laugh like a crazy person. He asked Harold if he lost all his senses after losing to Ghislain. He asked him if anyone would dare wage war on his territory. His territory possesses a double wall that is built sturdier than an ordinary fortress. There is also a moat surrounding the castle. The siege weapons in the castle were forged with the North's finest smithing techniques. Count Cabaldi asked Count Desmond if he is really telling him to make preparations after seeing this citadel that has been handed down for generations. He told him that his castle has never been breached. With a confident smile on his face, he said that it has never happened in history. He advised Harold to worry about himself first. He reminded him that he recently lost his secret weapon. Count Desmond was annoyed to hear this. The scene shifts, and we are taken to Fenris. We see Kair, Gillian, and Belinda bow their heads as our boy walked past them in his armor. Ghislain stepped on the stage and looked down to see his soldiers standing in front of him. He could see the determination in their eyes. He liked their expressions. He told the men that trusting and following someone isn't easy, but they trusted and followed him this far. Ghislain took out his sword and slammed the blade on the ground. He announced to the men that he will turn all 200 of them into knights. He said that this is the founding of the Fenris Knight Order. The men raised their hands and began to cheer when they heard this. Claude and Wendy watched them cheer from their tent. The administrator was also wearing an armor. He said that the situation is driving him crazy. He told the woman that it doesn't make sense no matter how many times he thinks about it. He said that he is not sure if it is possible. He asked Wendy if she also shares the same views as him. The scene shifts, and we are taken back to when Ghislain announced that they will attack the Cabaldi County first. Claude stood up and asked his lord about how he reached this conclusion so quickly. Ghislain explained to him that Count Desmond and Count Cabaldi are pretending to be neutral even though they support the ducal house. In other words, they are chess pieces that can move freely in place of the ducal house. Our boy told the group that Count Cabaldi is also their enemy. He said that they will get the Count's iron, or if they win the war, they will also slow down their enemy's growth and accelerate their own. This move made sense to everyone. Claude asked his lord about what they are going to do. Gillian told his lord that the armaments of Cabaldi's soldiers are among the finest in the north. Kair said that their overall military power is lacking in quantity and quality. Ghislain revealed to them that he is going to turn all 200 mercenaries into knights who can wield mana. Kair and Gillian were surprised to hear this. According to Ghislain, a well-trained knight has the power of 100 ordinary soldiers. If they are able to form an order of 200 knights, they will gain an equivalent strength of 20,000 soldiers. With a worried look on her face, Belinda asked her master about how he is going to do it. She reminded him that it takes years to master mana properly. Ghislain asked Vanessa to bring something. The girl and other mages brought in some barrels containing a large amount of scrolls. Alfoy said that these are mana compression sigils. Claude asked his lord if he used the runestone to create these things. Our boy took out one of the scrolls and said that the mercenaries will be able to master mana with it. He said that it might stray a little from the normal method. He told his subordinates that he modified the Perdium family's mana cultivation technique to make it easier to learn. He said that it should take the soldiers a month to master it. Belinda became nervous when she heard that our boy modified the family's mana cultivation technique without permission. She asked him if the lord won't be mad about it. Ghislain told her that it is better that his father gets angry than they lose their soldiers. Gillian told him that they won't be able to bring down the Cabaldi castle by simply training their soldiers. He revealed to him that he has been to the castle during his mercenary days. He said that the castle has a sturdy double wall with a deep moat surrounding it and flawlessly arranged defensive weapons. With so many elements favoring the castle's defense, people say that it has never once fallen throughout the lineage of the family. Gillian told his master that their mercenary tactics won't work if the Count resolves to hold a defensive siege. Claude suggested that they give up on the castle and focus on blocking Count Desmond. He said that they can get iron ore from other regions, even though it might be difficult. Ghislain asked him if he wants to bet to see if they will lose or win. Claude was annoyed to hear this. He asked our boy to stop betting on his territory's fate. Ghislain smiled and asked him not to worry about it. He told his administrator that he always has a plan. The scene shifts, and we are taken to a training hall. We see Ghislain standing in front of his soldiers. The soldiers wondered if they don't need to know how to use mana to become knights. They knew that it would take a few years to learn mana. Gordon raised his hand and asked Ghislain about how they are going to use mana. Ghislain told the soldiers that it would normally take several years to learn how to use mana. He told them that he will make sure that they all learn it within a month. Gordon and the other soldiers were surprised to hear this. Ghislain smiled and said that he will explain to them in a way that they can really understand. A while later, we see Ghislain pushing his mana into Gordon. There were several exhausted soldiers laying on the ground. They were breathing heavily. Gordon grit his teeth to endure the pain of our boy's mana. Ghislain asked him to bear with it. He told him that he is compressing several years into a single month. The burden for this is naturally enormous. He told Gordon that he will temporarily feel mana through the compression sigil. He asked him to gather the mana particles in the air and take them beneath his lower abdomen to form a mana core. He advised Gordon to imagine winding up a skein of thread. While following his orders, Gordon dragged the mana beneath his lower abdomen. He screamed out in pain. A while later, we see Ghislain step out of the training hall. He saw Belinda and Lowell waiting outside for him. Belinda told him that he did well. Ghislain thanked her and asked her if she can take the soldiers back to their lodgings. He told her that she will need to keep an eye on them for a while. While breathing heavily, he called out to Lowell and informed him that they will be crafting the armor that their order will be using. He asked him about how their dwarven slaves are doing. Lowell informed his master that the elves haven't arrived yet, but the dwarves are already waiting in the territory's lodgings. Ghislain turned to the sky when he heard this. He said that the moon won't be rising tonight. The scene shifts, and we are taken to a forest outside the town. We see someone push his hand out from the ground. The person created a huge hole and came out of the ground. The person turned out to be Galveric. His comrades were behind him. Galveric asked his comrades to come out after looking around. One of the dwarves asked Galveric if he is certain that they will be free once they escape this kingdom. Galveric revealed to him that people said that there is a secret autonomous district in another kingdom where slaves of different races live together. He asked his friends to leave with him. He said that the border is right in front of them. The moment he said this, Galveric noticed that his friends were hesitant. They seemed to be shaking. Galveric was annoyed to see them hesitating. He asked them if they have some lingering attachments to the slave life. He asked them to go back and spend their whole lives crafting toys for nobles if they're scared. The bald dwarf said that this is not it. He pointed at something and asked Galveric to turn around. When the man turned around, he saw Ghislain behind him. Our boy told the dwarves that there is no point in running away. The dwarves were shocked to hear this. They believed that Ghislain knew about their escape plan. Galveric couldn't believe that he already caught up to them. The moment he thought of this, he noticed something. He didn't see anyone behind Ghislain. He asked him if he came alone. Our boy told him that he did. The dwarves quickly came together and had a little meeting. They turned to Ghislain and glared at him. Galveric told him that they will be free if he is gone. Ghislain smiled and asked them to do their best. A while later, we see Galveric struggling to get up after taking a beating from Ghislain. His friends couldn't even move. Ghislain moved close to him and told him that dwarves are quite sturdy. Galveric raised his head up when he heard this. Ghislain explained to him that the slave traders are going to search for him once he runs away. He asked the man if he would like to just work for him. Galveric asked our boy not to make him laugh. He said that he would rather die chasing freedom than getting stuck there and making boring toys for him. He told Ghislain that he is gravely mistaken if he thinks that they are going to work without resisting. Ghislain smiled when he heard this. He liked the dwarf's resilience. He believed that his behavior was normal since he is someone who will later be called the legendary blacksmith in the future. Galveric pushed himself up and took a stance. Ghislain asked the man to give him 10 years. He promised to build an autonomous district for dwarves in his territory and free them from slavery if they cooperate with him earnestly. The dwarves were shocked to hear this. They all got up. Galveric asked him to stop lying. He told Ghislain that the kingdom legally defines them as slaves. He told him that it will be meaningless for a rural lord like him to give them freedom. Ghislain told the man that laws can be fixed when needed. The bald dwarf informed Galveric that Ghislain is backed by the royalist faction. He said that it might really be possible for him. Galveric clenched his fist out of anger. He knew that he couldn't win this fight. Ghislain told him that he is not interested in some luxurious craftsmanship. He told him that he wants to make something more fun than this. Galveric was surprised to hear this. He asked our boy about what he means. Ghislain raised his head and looked at the sky. He said that he wants to fly in the sky. A month later, we are taken to the Cabaldi castle. We see the Count reading a letter from Ghislain. Our boy wrote that he is disrupting the fairness of the entire northern iron market with his iron dealings, which are biased toward a certain house. He told the Count that he will regret it if he doesn't open the market to Fenris and its neighboring territories. The Count asked his subordinates to tell him what he is holding. One of them told him that it is a letter from Baron Fenris. Another official called Ghislain a rude, insolent brat. He said that our boy must be out of his mind. Count Cabaldi smiled and said that this method only works when used by those in power. He said that Fenris must be doing bad for them to send such a terrible letter. One of his officials informed him that Fenris has recently been buying up food in large quantities from other territories, and they are even paying extra money to get it. A man next to the official said that the territory must be experiencing food shortage after taking an immigrant sent by the royalist faction. Another vassal said that he cannot understand why Fenris keeps choosing to do things that bring them losses. He said that harvest season will soon come and prices will drop. The noble next to him asked him not to bother trying to understand the actions of the territory. He said that it is typical for a youngster to act reckless without thinking. Count Cabaldi used a candle light to burn the letter. He told his subordinates that it is natural for Ghislain to run into trouble because he is trying to bulk up a territory that was just on the brink of ruin some time ago. With a smile on his face, the Count said that he is sad that he won't be able to see Ghislain's downfall. The scene shifts, and we are taken to Marquis Branford's mansion. We see the Marquis step into his office. Before he could take off his jacket, the Marquis saw something on his table. He saw a letter on his table. He noticed that his window was open. The Marquis did not expect this. He picked up the letter and opened it. He saw that it was from Ghislain. Our boy advised the Marquis to tell the royalist nobles to stockpile 10 years' worth of food in advance. He revealed to him that a great famine will soon come to the kingdom. This famine is severe enough to shake the entire kingdom. Marquis Branford did not know how to react to this information. The next day, we see Rosalind step into her father's office. The girl told him that she heard that he wasn't in bed last night. Marquis Branford didn't say anything to his daughter. He turned to her and asked her to tell the vassals and royalist nobles that he is calling for a meeting right now. After sending the letter to the Marquis, an unprecedented famine spread across the entire kingdom. Under an extremely arid climate, the rivers laid bare, crops withered and died, starvation victims appeared one after another, and mass chaos erupted in the struggle for food. It was a natural disaster that went down in history. In this chaotic time, Ghislain decided that it was time for him to make his move. In the Desmond and Rayfold territories, their vassals informed them about how food prices are skyrocketing. They were complaining about how an abnormal weather strikes without warning. The vassals found out about how the royalist nobles already stored food in advance. Amelia and Count Desmond found out that the Fenris territory has successfully harvested its food. The scene shifts, and we see Count Cabaldi slam his hand on his table. He asked his vassals about the food that Count Desmond is supposed to send. He said that Count Desmond should have taken over Fenris in advance and secured their food and land. One of the vassals said that Count Desmond asked them to wait a little longer. He said that the Count has also missed the right timing due to the weather. Count Cabaldi called Desmond a fool. He asked his subordinates about when Harold is going to send the food. One of them said that he knows a way which they can secure food quickly. He suggested that they follow Ghislain's wish and give him iron in exchange for food. Another vassal asked him to stop spouting nonsense. He said that Ghislain belongs to the royalist faction. He told him that the ducal house won't appreciate it when they find out. A man in blue clothes said that the food can arrive at any time. He reminded his comrade that the ducal house and Count Desmond already promised them. He suggested